So the Redmi Note 5 Pro was a star Xiaomi smartphone that aimed to be a perfect package. Get a good display, good cameras, great battery life and an overall great build quality to go with. Now it has been replaced with the Redmi Note 6 Pro, and what you get is a dual front camera and a notch display to call it an upgrade. You're watching India Today Tech, I'm Rahul Sethi, and let's take a look at the Redmi Note 6 Pro and find out if it's really worth your money. So the Redmi Note 6 Pro has the same design as the Redmi Note 5 Pro. At least if you take a look at it from the back, you get the same design with a fingerprint scanner, dual camera setup, a metal back plate and plastic inserts on the top and bottom, IR blaster on the top, microphone and 3.5mm headphone jack, a micro USB port at the bottom and a hybrid SIM card slot. I mean, if you don't take into account the notch display, the Redmi Note 6 Pro is not very different from the Redmi Note 5 Pro. The Redmi Note 5 Pro had a fantastic design. True, it wasn't very solid, but it is something that you can go with in this price segment. The phone is surely heavy, but it still has a 4000 plus mAh battery, which makes it a great daily driver. I mean, the phone lasts for more than a day on single charge, which is great. There's no fast charging on the device and it takes about 2 hours to charge it. But overall, I think the notch saves the Note 6 Pro from a design failure. I mean, it could have ended up looking exactly the same, and it is, but the notch spices the design a little and you do get a better screen to body ratio at least on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now if you talk about the display, it's the same good old Redmi Note 5 Pro working here. I mean, the Redmi Note 5 Pro had a great contrast and we compared it with the Redmi Note 5 also in terms of quality. It had a much better quality, contrast and color reproduction. Same is the case with the Note 6 Pro. You'll see that outdoors the display does a great job. It has amazing brightness levels, and indoors, of course, it performs pretty nice. It's an IPS panel with full HD plus resolution, and I think it's the best you can get in this price segment. Smartphone companies like Realme have used plastic back to give a much more premium look and feel, but I think Xiaomi made the right decision by sticking to this design. I mean, it's tried and tested and it's slightly more sturdy in comparison. Also, after a while, you won't get to see a scratched back if you don't use a back cover. Xiaomi runs MIUI 10 on the Redmi Note 6 Pro and it's still based on the Android 8.1. True that smartphones have not yet been coming with Android 9 out of the box, especially in this price segment, but the next wave is expected to come with Android 9 Pie pre-installed, and that is not the case with the Note 6 Pro. Xiaomi may push an upgrade later, but right now out of the box it runs an older operating system, which is a kind of a deal breaker. Although the user experience is very snappy. I mean, apps would open in blink of an eye. The multitasking speed is amazing thanks to the new UI, and it feels very smooth to use. There are no lags, no app crashes, no problems whatsoever with the Redmi Note 6 Pro software. You do get a lot of third-party apps pre-installed, and there are a lot of features that you may not want to use. That is the case with many smartphones using their own interface. I mean, that is the case with the Realme 2 Pro as well. Oppo's Color OS has a lot of bloatware on it. Xiaomi also keeps the same chipset on the Redmi Note 6 Pro, so performance will not be very different from what you get on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and the performance is quite satisfactory. The phone does not heat up despite playing the game continuously for a long time, and that I think is a great plus point about the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now, a good improvement on the Note 6 Pro is on the cameras. You do get dual cameras at the front that allow you to take portrait shots as well, but there's a slight twist in the rear camera of the Redmi Note 6 Pro. The aperture on the main camera has been reduced to f1.9, which means a wider aperture. A wider aperture lets in more light, which means that the Redmi Note 6 Pro should theoretically take much better shots. I mean, in low light you do get brighter shots, the colors look very crisp, and you get a much sharper and overall a better photo. In good light, the camera performs amazingly well. It takes clean and crisp shots. The focus is spot on. Macro shots come out to be amazing with good amount of details and good color accuracy. The portrait shots are not as good as what you get on the Mi A2 because the secondary sensor is a depth sensor and not a telephoto one. But despite that, it does a good job at separating the object from the background. It has its own drawbacks because sometimes it ends up blurring the object in foreground as well, but that is the case with most dual camera setups in this price segment. The front camera also takes amazing portrait shots. I mean, it works well in low light situations as well. Xiaomi made a great point with Redmi Note 5's front camera. It was a 20 megapixel sensor and took amazing shots with great details, amazing skin tones, color production and overall picture quality. That only improves with the dual camera setup on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. You get amazing bokeh shots from the front camera itself with good background blur, object separation and overall color reproduction. So is Redmi Note 6 Pro a great smartphone? I mean, you should not buy it if you already own a Redmi Note 5 Pro. Xiaomi could have put in a metal unibody design on this smartphone. It could have got a better processor, fast charging, a triple slot tray, or even a telephoto sensor for better portrait photography. But there's a phone already that has all these things, and that is the Mi A2. What Xiaomi did with this one is bring down the price tag to 13,999, and that only makes this package much more favorable and economical. Let us know what you think about the Redmi Note 6 Pro in the comment section below, and if you've liked the video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos on technology, smartphones and other gadgets like this. Thank you for watching.